Okay, so my topic is over reality television and the effects that it has on adolescents. Um, Essentially, what we're trying to discover is, does consistent, regular consumption of reality TV affect the way that adolescents and young adults um, make decisions and perceive the world around them? We as adults know and understand that reality TV is, in fact, the exact opposite of its name. It is not reality, it is heavily scripted, and it may be based on some partial truths and partial real life events, but it is heavily scripted to provide entertainment for us. And so, what I researched is how different shows and different reality themes can impact that reality and those decision-making skills, that perception. And so one of the shows that I first talked about was 16 and Pregnant, and then its eventual spin-off Teen Mom, and how these shows portray life for teenage girls that are pregnant as either being very, very glamorous or being very, very negative. There's not really an in-between. It's one extreme or another extreme. And so, keeping that concept in mind, how do other forms of reality TV impact kids? And so, what I discovered is that there was an article written in AARP magazine. Mind you, this is a very, very short, like singular paragraph blurb on a page that was written by Leslie Quander Woolridge, and she found that tween and teen girls who regularly view reality TV accept and expect a higher level of drama, aggression, and bullying in their own lives. They tend to measure their worth by their physical appearance as well. And so this is kind of where we see some of that beginning of how teens and young adults are impacted by reality TV. In another article written by Newsweek Global that was published in 2014, it talks about the heavy scriptedness of reality TV, the social acceptance of it being real world television, and the effects of regular consumption, specifically girls. So in 2011, they found a survey that regular reality TV viewers differed dramatically from their non-viewing peers in their expectations of peer relationships, their overall self-image, and their understanding of how the world works. And so the conclusion of this article was that consistent viewership of reality television led to a much narrower view on the distinction between reality TV and the real world. So they were blending the lines between what the world around them actually is and what a reality television show is telling them reality is. And then similarly, in 2014, the American Psychological Association published an article discussing the effects of cosmetic surgery reality TV shows. So we've now switched from, shows like 16 and Pregnant and Teen Mom and Laguna Beach to cosmetic shows like Extreme Makeover and Dr. 90210. And so this article focused on body image in adolescent girls. And they warned that with the increasing popularity of these shows, there were very unrealistic expectations of how they should look. And that viewers, particularly young girls who already struggled with body image issues, are being harmed by this constant flood of these shows that promote plastic surgery and cosmetic surgery to change the appearance of a person. And while we know that that's not necessarily a wrong or a bad thing to do, and sometimes it's necessary, constantly flooding it and highlighting participants that genuinely are just unhappy with their bodies is causing more harm to adolescent girls than good, because they're not seeing the value of self-love and self-acceptance. And then the Journal of Broadcasting and Electronic Media wrote an article looking specifically at romantically themed reality television, or RTRT, and how this affected adolescents. And so they considered shows like Temptation Island and The Bachelor and things of that nature, and how it affected them on a romantic relationship side, why they were interested in it, and how it affected them sexually as well in their sexual development. And so this article basically stated that there is a correlation between reality television and its effect on adolescents, but it's not as clearly defined as we would hope for it to be. There are actually several articles from the Journal of Broadcasting and Electronic Media that were written specifically surrounding reality TV and adolescents, and how we need to really just do a lot more research to determine how it affects them. And ultimately, through all of my research, I came to the same conclusion, that there's just not enough sound, concrete research that's been done to definitively state whether it is good or bad. We're basically at an impasse. There are positives and negatives on both sides, and while those positives and negatives are very clearly seen, we're unable to see their long-term effects. And so we don't really know how consistent viewership of reality TV will impact how young adults see the world around them as they get older, and how it will influence the decisions that they end up making as they become adults, and how they will function in society.